If you walk into a voting booth now, you'll notice you have the option to vote yes or no on Amendment 1, an amendment that seems like it's very solar energy friendly. But a lot of solar power advocates actually tell us the amendment is very misleading.
If you vote yes, you're voting literally to take your own rights away, and you're voting to create barriers for you to be able to buy a solar system in the future.
Solar power advocacy groups say on paper, it sounds like the amendment is pro-solar, but in reality, it's not.
Amendment 1 will create barriers for people to go solar in the future. And the real problem with the amendment, essentially, when something is put on a ballot, is that you should be able to read it and know what you're voting for.
They say the language on the ballot is confusing.
And essentially, whatever you vote for in this, you're kind of, unless you know what it is, you're voting the opposite of what you would like to.
There may be some tough choices on your ballot, but here's an easy one. Amendment 1. Just think 1 for the sun.
The group for Amendment 1 is known as the Consumers for Smart Solar, and they say a vote yes will protect voter rights for purchasing or leasing solar equipment. But Michael Collins works for a solar power company, and he says Floridians already have these rights.
Part of the amendment gives the average person in the state of Florida a constitutional right to buy a solar system, which is absolutely not necessary to have. You already have the right to buy a solar system, and that's part of the deceptive nature of it.
Collins says the amendment is actually being supported by big utility companies that have spent millions of dollars to back the amendment. And if Amendment 1 is passed, it could give these utility companies the right to charge solar customers and hurt the job market.
This industry is creating jobs on its own with no help. And now it's trying, there's huge, powerful industries, monopoly utilities trying to squash it. And it just goes against everything that you would think our legislators and our governing bodies would be doing to help us.
And early voting started on Monday, so if you haven't voted yet, you can still vote yes or no for Amendment 1. I'm reporting in Gainesville, Alicia Tarancon, CBS 4 News.